We have a feed. This is good. Hey! Well, that's good. No drop frames. What's up, Vinny? We're just kind of jumping right into things. Screw the starting screen. Screw the starting stream screen. We're gonna forego that this time. Because there's a couple things that I have to do. Like small things, but what is it? Title's working. It's this guy right here. I'm sure a lot of people will recognize it right off the bat. Matt, did you see the window tint that was put on the outside? Yeah, in the Facebook group, I saw that. That was like, what, you said $10 window tint? That was great. What I liked about that post was like, let's see how cheap we can go. Because like, I guess at $10, you can't afford to put it on the inside. You just gotta fucking slap it on and go to the next one. That was great. What's up, everybody? How much would you charge with charcoal film? So a quality color stable film, like on this one, I start those at $240. But it's a sliding scale, so it depends on market demand in your area, and I found that you can definitely push that even if you're new. So see what other people are doing in your area as kind of like a reference for what most people are going to be seeking out. But it's been proven over and over from places that when they really push that number, you might not get as much business in the beginning as what you hope, but you build that over time. So I'm not, like, there's a lot of people that are booked out a couple weeks in advance right now. That's not me right now. But this one was a happy walk-in today. I would expect it to be more work to put on the outside. Not really, because, so what you could do is you could literally just like spray it, squeegee it, spray it again, stick it on, and trim it on the outside, and fucking go on to the next window. Like, it was peeling, and from what I could see, it's like, it looked like there were little bits overhanging some of the edges and stuff. So, there's a good chance that like, you know, hey, we just, like, there's no way that they put time into that job, so. Hello from the grease. Welcome. What's good? This is good. I was actually about to film a video. It was all set up. I was like, I'm gonna film this video. I'm gonna do it quick. It's gonna take a couple hours. I'm gonna edit it. And then I kind of laughed. I was like, all right, I'll do it. I'll start in like 5 minutes. And then I made a joke. I was like, and then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get a phone call for like a full tint, and I'm gonna say, come on down. Sure as shit, 10 minutes later, I get a phone call. And then here's a full car. What do you use to clean the windows? We're gonna find out today, because there's some stuff on these windows. We're getting $275 for color stable dyed here. Only 3 tinters in the area. That's awesome. $275 is great. I'm in a little bit more of a competitive area, but I'll be honest, I didn't even start at $275. Hey! $3 super chat. Sorry, I missed that, kind of. I saw it and then I got distracted, so I didn't miss it, but thank you, this guy, for the $3 super chat. Step 1, coffee. Step 2, perfect tint job. Hell yeah. That's it. I was about to go live and I'm like, where's my coffee? So, unfortunately, I'm almost done this one, but like I wanted an iced coffee, and I usually just throw ice cubes, pour coffee, creamer. Like, it works great. But I was doing something in here, and I asked my wife if she could make one. She blended up some ice, and she put it in here and made it like a whole frap thing. Oh, dude. Oh, it was good. Good stuff. Watching your stream while tinting? That's the way to do it. I do that all the time with like either live streams or content, like videos after the fact about stuff like I'm trying to learn and whatnot. It's the way to go. I'm always like listening or watching something while I'm working. Matt, I'm having a problem with the squeaky monkey. I keep getting those little specks. Yeah, so I'll wipe it down with the towel. But yeah, you're right. There's those little like, I don't like the fact that there's a grit that gets left behind, which is why I was averse to using it in the first place. Maybe I can be a little more detailed in the way that we install it today. But generally speaking, if you have a smooth install, it shouldn't be bad. But I only do it over the top. I don't try and run it into the seals or anything. Working on a Chevy Traverse, seals pop out like the Impalas. Do they? I think so. It's been a little bit. But the bottom seals I wouldn't know on that one. Hey, from Jersey, I've been tinting a few years, but just a few, just a car here and there. Just did an Audi A4. Those seals on the side windows were so hard to tuck. Any advice on tight seals? Audi A4s, yep, welcome to the club. Audi A4s, BMWs, all of those, they have tighter seals. Practice. You can try to cut your window tint like a little slimmer than normal, so just slight overlap. You don't have to go crazy, so that'll already make it a little bit easier. But it's funny, I always read in the groups, there's a lot of people that get frustrated with stuff like that, and that's why they start popping seals, because they don't want to take the time to learn. Or not that they don't want to take time to learn. It's just generally less frustrating to do, so I get it, but I don't want to take apart those types of cars. It's just practice and the finesse of just sliding the film in. You should make a video of things you can get at a convenience store to get a good clean window before tinting. But I like the idea of going to like a dollar store and picking up some stuff to tint a window. I think that one would be pretty funny. But so like, I would, if you're going to be installing regularly, then it's worth it just to get the stuff that, like there is stuff that you can get at like a convenience store or grocery store or something like that. There's stuff that we use all the time as far as simple things like glass cleaners and stuff. But for the most part, it's worth it to spring for like whatever the professional options are, because it's what you do. Malibu, this is the first time I've heard in the comments somebody mentioning it. Yes. We're tinting Malibu. It's my, like legitimately, I always smile when I have these on the books. The newer ones, they're so straightforward. They're so easy. I don't think there's much more of an easier car than this one right here. It's got a flat back window. It's got plenty of room to work with. It's got straightforward windows on the sides, except there's gum. There's a little bit of gum on one of the windows. She's got kids, so. Yeah, that's what I got to look forward to. I'm having trouble with contamination on the sides. That's a really common issue. It's hard for me to tell you exactly what to do, but the more you fight with tucking the film on the side, that's where you're going to have the most problems. I use Film On Solution. Have you ever used it? Wondering if something better I could add to my tank. I haven't actually ever used it. I've seen it. I know it's been around for years. I always just like something a lot more slippery. So I gravitated a lot more towards baby shampoo. Plus, it was convenient just to go grab. So it's one of those things, you use so much of it that, like, you know, a lot of times tinters don't plan ahead that much in ordering their supplies. So it's like, yeah, I could order like a couple gallons of slime and have them sitting here. But then it's like you always push off those reorders until you really need it. And then you develop bad habits and then get something like baby shampoo, which like baby shampoo works great and I love it. So I'd suggest something more like that, at least just to compare. And then you know what you're getting into. First car I ever tinted was a Malibu. Oh, bro, good. That's one of the best first cars to have. I hear people that have like old ass cars, and they're trying to learn, and they're like, "Is the '90s Thunderbird hard to tint?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I just tinted 76 Datsun 710 wagon. The other day I watched a bunch of your videos. It sure helped me out. Not bad for my first tint. Oh, whoa. That's what I'm talking about. Holy shit. Yeah, like situations like that where like a 76 Datsun, good God, wagon nonetheless. I like the Datsun 240s. Those, oh. Oh, wait. 710 wagon. I like the older Datsuns. Uh-oh. Sorry. I forget when I type sometimes it'll... Yeah. Ooh, that doesn't look like super fun, but I'm glad it turned out well for you. Holy shit. That would be like, ah, God. How many gallons is your spray tank? It's a 3 gallon. I like the 3 gallons for portability. If you're in a place and you're gonna leave it, 5 gallons is nice because you don't have to fill it up as often. But I have an idea I literally just came up with today. So one of the issues that I got in here is dragging cords and a hose around the side. If I'm at a shop, it's just part of the gig. But here, now that I have my own dedicated space, I'm trying to section it off so I have the most important things on one side and the most important things on the other side mirrored so I don't have to run back and forth. So I think I'm gonna get a tank with a 2-hose setup and just run a longer hose down this side and leave it sitting there. Cause like these are super convenient, right? These are awesome. Whoa! Oh, that was a hell of a super chat. All right, I'll go over this in a second. Mike D with a $25 super chat. Bro, thank you. It's the least I could do for all the help I get from you. You the man. Also, how popular is mobile tinting outside? I feel like there's too much going on. Wind, heat, pollen. Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And glad you find this channel helpful. For mobile tinting, outside there's guys that do it, but the way that I would attack mobile tinting is do cars where you can be on an inside environment. So this gets a little tricky with like the logistics side of things, but ask them if they have a garage that you can pull the car into, or else you're just creating a lot of problems for yourself. And then you could like run out, do a $250 job, and then you're just like, it's 10 times harder because the sun's beating down on you. If you saw my tinting in the Philippines video, that was a big problem because as soon as you spray on a hot day, that water starts to evaporate. It sticks too much. It's too much of a pain in the ass. So you have to cover up those windows some way to keep the sun from drying it up. Woo! We got another one. But like I was saying, I would definitely try to do mobile. Like I know people that do mobile tinting, and I just try to always make sure you're inside somewhere. It's important for the time, for the quality, and you'll be better off doing it. But yeah, the one really quick too, one real perk of mobile tinting that I didn't realize was, so I was talking to a guy, and I have to get deposits here, or sometimes I don't have people show up. But some of them, what I've been doing for here is taking deposits, but for mobile, when you're showing up somewhere, you don't really need to worry about them not showing up because you're gonna show up at their place. So it's actually kind of smart that way. But Joseph, holy shit, thank you for the $10 super chat. That's awesome. Hey Matt, watching from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. Tinting here is just like tinting in the Philippines. Hot. Love your videos. Got my order this week. Thanks. Dude, that's awesome. Oh, I'm glad it made it to you. Yeah, we had a day last week that got up to like 90-ish, and it was super humid in here. I had the chance to stream, but bro, it was just, I walked out in here and I was just fucking sweating. So I have the doors cracked right now, and when you pull in a car, it just radiates heat. So like it turns into an oven in here too. I would love to try and do something with like the air conditioning in the house, but so far everything I've tried hasn't panned out. Hey bro, quick question. What's the difference with the colors on the squeegees? So it's different hardnesses. Like the orange crush and the flat out, you see me use those a lot. The yellow one's much stiffer than the orange one. So people just have different preferences. A good middle ground is kind of like the orange crush. The yellow flat out is a really solid squeegee. It's a lot harder. Presses out a little bit more water, that type of stuff, but those are the main differences. Like same thing with all the tools, so they're all bright, colorful, and they usually, like everybody, like read the descriptions of those tools. Like for tri-edge, they have pink, blue, yellow. The blues are in the middle, the pinks are softer, and the yellows are harder. So just kind of changes with the different colors. So, but they'll specify in the description. Cruise, fairly easy to tint. I got one this past week and I'm going to retint it. Back window is done in 2 pieces. Ooh. Yeah, they're very easy to tint. The quarters are like a little tight on those, and the newer ones have front quarters that are kind of a pain in the ass too, because you have to be really precise about your front cut. But as far as the doors and the back glass, they're very, very easy. There's no reason that car should have been done in 2 pieces. So, what's your favorite tint film? I decorated my walls with it. We got Geo on the wall. Looking to purchase a plotter. What size do I need to go with? It's a good question, and then we'll get started. For plotters, get at least, well, I'd say all you need up to, unless you're doing flat, is a like 42-inch plotter, I think they technically are. Just enough to cut a 40-inch roll. So they come in like a short size, a medium size, and then like the bigger like 60-inch plotters. You're not really going to be cutting out 60 inches of film for window tinting unless you're into flat glass. So for auto, all day long off a 40-inch plotter. So you can do 20, 24, 36, 40-inch rolls. And that's most of what you run around with anyways. I have a 53-inch and it's beautiful, but you don't need anything bigger than 40. That's exactly right, my man. Did you have mirror tint film, just in case? No, I don't have any mirror tint, but I'd love to get into the chameleon stuff. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna get started. This is fun. I like starting the streams like this. I usually have the starting soon stream, so like we all kind of start out on the same foot. But I've noticed I just stand here and talk for a while. So these are a lot of fun to do, so I think we're just probably gonna do that. On a Ford, oh God, I keep getting distracted. On a Ford Fusion, how far would you tuck the film into the quarters? Oh, those older Fusions. I'll be honest, I used to just tuck them immediately inside that rubber and it'd have that ugly gap the whole way around, and I just say that's the way it is. But later on, what I would do now is actually trim out like the first 1/4 inch of that rubber, just try and make it even. And then you can get all the way back, but you need to free up some space. All right, have you done it? All right, we're gonna switch over. Hey! Have you done a 2002 Audi TT? If you do, how was it? I don't remember. Sorry. Good. Oh, putting on a headband while it's hot. Hey! Where it's, I don't know. Yeah, it's up here on my screen. Braden with the $5 super chat. Hey Matt, just want to say thanks for sharing all of this knowledge and putting all the effort into your live streams. Been making that side money. Fuck yeah. That makes me so happy. Like that's what I want to see. There's enough work for everybody to get their own, and window tinting is like that awesome side skill, hobby, profession that you can just get into that makes you a good income if you just want to do it on the side. if you want to do it as a full-time job, like it's great. So this is it. This is the Malibu. It's a little rough on the front. And if we look at some of these windows, we haven't cleaned anything. This is pretty normal to see. So a lot of just general like buildup. That wipes off really easy, but it looks here like they had tape up here. So we gotta address that. Do I have my adhesive remover? I hope I have it in here. It might be outside if that's the case. Oops. And then this was the funniest. I thought this was bird poop. And the client thought it was too. And then it just like walked over and was like, did you put bird poop or gum on my windows? It was great. So we gotta clean that off too. So we're gonna be using a razor blade for stuff like that. And we got car seats. These are the easy ones. Those are the not so fun, but is it even bolted in? I don't even think it's bolted in. But we're gonna take it out. Henrik with a 50 SEK Swedish kronor, I think that was. Thanks for all the tips and tricks. Keep up the good work, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Oh, it is bolted. No, it's not. Maybe? The great puzzles of window tinters are, believe it or not, usually just the children's seats. We have to take these out. But they're usually like strapped in pretty... Oh, wow. They don't... It's just kind of sitting there. All right. You know, safety first. That's ironic. Well, that made that easy. Cool. So these headrests, they pop out, but I think we have to lower the seats first. So we're gonna pop this. Where's the other one? There should be. Oh, it's here. There's always two. It's always like a really weird design as well to like put the, because when you're like, okay, so just in general, like when you want to lean the seats forward, you're usually here at the seats, right? But I always got to go on most cars to these. Only a handful of cars do it on the inside, so. Yeah, it worked. Took forever to get the super chat to work. Cool. Admire your work. Thanks, man. Great channel from Jaybird. I don't take off panels, more or less. Stress keeps it simple. Yeah, I'm the same way. I hear you on that. It's just like, I don't know. I keep seeing this over and over in like my own group. There's like this like diehard crowd of people that love taking shit apart, and that's fine. Like I do not care. God, where's a bigger oh, I guess that is. I don't care if you take stuff apart, and you like doing it, but it's like the weird contrast of like, oh, I take everything apart, or oh, I don't take anything apart. Like, I don't like taking things apart, and I'm in that camp, but I'm definitely not like super diehard about it, or at least I try not to be. It's just kind of funny. It's like shrinking door windows and popping panels and not shrinking door windows. It's like, it always seems to be like very split groups. What percent's going on the car? Oh, that's a good question. What is going on the car? Oh, 20. We're doing 20. I knew that. So I definitely am going to address this before we put any type of, as you can see, we've gone through all the baby shampoo. Is this, oh, we got a little bit in here. So we're gonna put this on a towel. Usually we have a spray bottle for this. But we're gonna put this on a towel. We're just gonna wipe it off. But there's like, if there's excessive grime on a window, we're gonna take care of that before we coat it in like dry shrink prep. Because when it's really, like most of the time, if I didn't see this and the gum, I'd just cover it and it generally would be fine. But if you have like a couple of things that are just like red flags, like this kind of sticky, then it's good to just make sure the whole thing's going to be extra clean. We've learned a lot from your videos. They've really helped. Oh, you're welcome. Glad they've helped. I like these live streams so I can like, all these questions that I get like in the DMs, unfortunately, I just don't have time. But this is like the perfect platform to doing that. All right, so now we got to track down a clay bar. We're going to, let's scrub off the outside. And then we're gonna just go over the inside. That should be the only place where there's any type of like, really anything horrendous. But this this whole car definitely has some like stickies and stuff, and we got some time. So let's put it to some good use. Yeah, definitely. All right. So I've been in here. Let's see, I tinted outside this place on Tuesday, and now I'm in here. I've been in here yesterday, so I've already had a chance to misplace stuff. Usually I just grab everything from my box, but we're going through some small improvements on this space. So we have an extension cord now that runs down to the other side. So I have heat guns on both sides now. So that's one less thing I have to drag around the car. The idea is efficiencies. There's a lot of lost minutes in walking around the car over and over. I just noticed if you peel too much liner, you get more creases when you're tucking it. If you have like a harder bend at the bottom, that makes sense. I'll try and like go for like the easiest part in the middle. That way you have some like freedom from the bottom and the top. I've never used like really used Walmart squeegees for like actual jobs, but getting a big squeegee has been a huge help. I've had it ever since I did the video. I just never thought of actually using them. But for like cleaning shit, I've been using them for windshields too, but on the outside, not the inside. Ooh, bro, help me. I scratched a car with my knife. There's not much you can do for that. Glass, they'll sell you. So I haven't looked at a kit in a long time, so maybe there's some good improvements for scratches on the outside. Glass Weld, Glasweld, I believe. They're a really good company. They look into what they have and make a phone call, see if they have anything. But like, if you've put a groove into the glass, most of the time, like, if the custom, like, you gotta replace it more often than not. I mean, you could always do that thing and just like, okay. Not proud of this, but I've done this in the past. and I've seen other people do it, where you cut out a window and there's a scratch. And it's like not a heavy line, but there's definitely a line there, and you're like, oh shit. And then you just like wipe off the glass, and the smears from that just kind of cover it up, and then they never say a word about it. Those are, like I said, not proud of those moments, but that is why I have this. Safelite. Safelite's expensive too. They're convenient, but man. I think I priced out my windshield, and it was somewhere along the lines of like $600 to do my windshield. The glass shop that I tint for, they do like full windshields for like $250, and they're actually a really, really good place too. They do a lot of nice cars out of there. Can old glass have imperfections to where you can't improve it install no matter how many times you tint it? Yeah, absolutely. So obvious things, there's going to be two major things that'll make a older car look horrible. The first is if that car has been in an accident, there'll be these sometimes black specks, weld splatter, that'll stick to the glass. And you can kind of scrape them down a little bit, but a lot of times you'll hear it. You'll be scraping over the glass with a razor blade, and it'll just, it sounds bad. The next thing, do we have, shit. What are we using? Where's my bag? Oh, there's my bag. The next thing is just scratches in the glass. But other than that, there's not going to be anything vastly different about an old piece of glass. Just, you know, some scratches or weld splatter are like the two major things. Other than that, you can tint like classic car glass that's been really, really old, and still make it look good. It's just those two obvious things that you would look out for, but you would notice them while you're working on it. Before the car was done. Scratches sometimes maybe not if they're on the inside, but depends on how bad the scratching is. I like to get my car tinted, but I don't want black shade. I like to get color film. Any recommendations? No, not really. The problem with colored film is there aren't a lot of companies that do it, and it's not really made for automotive. Reason is there's a bajillion colors out there. Okay, what are we getting? We need 20%. All right, 20%. I think it's this one. This is the one that I used. But okay, like I was saying, 20% is what we're installing on this. Colored films, like there's too many colors for a company to know which ones to make, because you could make a green, but it's not the right shade of green, or it's not the right brightness of green, or, you know, all those things. So to make one SKU of green, you got to make like 5 different greens, right? And then it just depends on how many people are then gonna order it, and it's just like there's just not the demand for it. So you can find cheapo colored films online, and I believe there's one company that has them for sale too, mostly for architectural, for like big like graffiti style murals and stuff for glass. But it's like, it's a large scale stuff. It's not really a small scale automotive thing anymore. Ooh, there's a lot of good questions there. Recently switched to 30-degree blades and are you getting snags? You know, I've had it happen where like 30-degree blades are kind of a little bit different to cut with. And if you've, some of these live streams, I do it a little bit better, but sometimes I'll just like overthink my cut. And then I'll like, you start getting those little twitches, right? And you just gotta like attack it with some more confidence. But you're so used to cutting with the 60s, give yourself a little bit of an allowance with that top edge and try it a few times. And if it's just not working out, don't sweat it too much, because it's like, it is that much closer, but it's not a necessity. I've just really liked them, and I use the 30-degree NT ones, so they're really, really solid blades. We're gonna switch to a new one just to be extra sure. What was that? Oh, that was the door. How can I, there was another good question. How can I tell if somebody really installed ceramic film or not? You should feel the difference. Like, so here's the easiest way to tell. But there's not a lot of good ones. If you are sitting in your car, heat rejection is a little misleading sometimes. What heat rejection really does is it like keeps the heat off your skin. So when you go out to your car, it's still, you have paint, it's enclosed, the sun's beating on it. That film is gonna absorb heat, and it's heat rejection. But the biggest thing is when you're driving. So it's still gonna feel like an oven when you get in it. But when you get in the car and you start driving and you get your air conditioning going and the wind's moving past your car, roll down the window and feel that sun on your skin and then roll it back up. You shouldn't be able to hardly feel it anymore. Maybe a little bit, but not much anymore. If you can still feel that sun a lot, then I would be worried. But isn't it kind of like, it's kind of annoying that other than, like, that's the main benefit of ceramic. So you should feel that difference. Other than that, yeah, you could argue maybe it looks better, but it's honestly hard to tell from like a real high-end film and a dyed, like a quality dyed film, other than the heat rejection. A lot of people will still get carbon and ceramic for those reasons, and that's why I drive with it. I love it. But I wish there was like a more defining way to tell the difference. I've got a solar meter too, so if you got it from a good shop, maybe they'll have one too and they can walk out to your car. .30-degree blades got a little rusty. Ooh, yeah, that'll happen. Well, it can happen. There's like supposed to be an oil coating on them, but if they get wet and they sit, yeah, they're done. See, that's kind of like that shark bite thing that you're talking about. Sometimes it just happens. So like you can put tension on the film too. Like when you're overthinking your cut, you're being a little extra careful. Sometimes like it literally just like happens. So what we want to do is look for that spot and make sure that there's no like extra grooves there. Because that's the thing that sucks about those, is sometimes it'll make your whole line change. What's your opinion on Lexan? It's a great film to kind of start and play around with. It's a solid budget option. It's not the easiest film to shrink, but for the price, it's kind of hard to argue with. It looks good, and it is carbon, but I don't think it's got the longevity, so I wouldn't guarantee over a couple of years, but they do have a warranty program along with it. I checked it out recently. And there's only so much you can expect, but like, so there's a couple of things that raise concern, and that's like, there's no warranty if you how do you say this? The law, if you illegally tint the car, right? Then it's not under warranty. So if you're installing anything on the front doors in the state of Michigan, they would probably argue that they can't warranty if there was an issue with the front doors. On the back doors, you can go as dark as you want. You know, I might have to shut these doors because there's so many little white floaties around here. I had to do that the other day. I was tinting a older Mustang convertible, and I did the front doors, no joke. I did the one front door I did 4 times because I kept getting those little fuzzies. It was like an unreal amount of fuzzies. And I'm starting to see little fuzzies land on the glass, so when I squeegee it down, that could be a problem. Wow, that was nice. I saw that back window on your wall. Yep. Good luck with that one. They're not super fun. And I'll be honest, this helped out a ton, but there was one problem. This side laid down great. This side, I shrunk it. Everything was fine in here, transferred it. The cutout was perfect. This wasn't as curved as the OEM one. So I had fingers pop up on the inside, like decent sized ones. So I shrunk it out on the inside, but oh, that always makes me like, that always freaks me out a little bit. It took me 2 times to get that back window. So yeah, it was just one of those cars that's like, I know I'm gonna get it, and I'm not gonna wanna take it apart. How many cars can you get out of a good film? Or how many years? Is that, how many years? How many years? That's always the question. You never know. What you can be sure of is what the company is going to guarantee you, and what they're going to guarantee you with their own pocketbooks. But a lot. So when a company sells you a roll of film, like you'll pay $200-300 for that roll of film, right? And, you know, even more depending on the film that you're buying. Well, they didn't make $200 or $300 off of you. They still had to pay for the film, so they have their margins. And then when you have a problem with one car, so like let's say they made half, right? Let's give them really good margins. Let's say they made 50% on that roll. Woo! Well, if you have one problem with a car, and you want them to pay like full boat for that car, like $200 plus whatever, you know, like removal fees, stuff like that. They just lost all their money and some on that. So they'll have insurance to cover shit like that. But a lot of film companies are dogs about covering warranty work. Because it's like, oh, I got a car that came back after a couple years, and they're like, yeah, we'll take care of it. And then you just bug them and bug them and bug them, and then nothing happens. So go into it with a good company that's going to guarantee they're gonna take care of you. Yeah, like here we got a little snaggle tooth. Just make sure that's clean. How do I see your comments? I'm psychic. I know all. Window tinting is just my part-time job. I'm actually just a psychic full-time. But I somehow, when it comes to the lottery, when it comes to the lottery, oh, all that's fuzzy. Go figure, right? Can you guys? It reads the you guys aren't hearing the comments, right? Like that part's just making sure. But yeah, I have text to speech, so I have hundreds of comments every stream that play over a Microsoft Sam voice on my headset, and I've done it so much that I've gotten much better at like handling trying to talk over it, but it's still like if you hear me just kind of stop mid-sentence, a lot of times I'll get distracted with like picking up another question, because sometimes there's really good questions that'll come back to back to back, and then there'll be silence. So, and then emojis. Sweet Lord. Emojis are like the most difficult things to handle, because it speaks the full emoji to me. So, one day, if I ever get YouTube memberships, and memberships are just like where I can customize live stream emojis and stuff like that, which would be fucking awesome. Tint emojis. I'm sure it would read them to me. Okay, so we gotta shrink this. God, I was gonna do the back window too and just shrink it all together. But look at this. Look, we got a cord here already with a heat gun. I got the Flexzilla ones that match my floor too. What was that? I got pulled over, and what was it? I got pulled over for my mirror tint, and the cop asked where I got the mirror tint from. That's awesome. Where did you get your mirror tint from? It's one of those like lost things. Like you can find them on eBay, but like most reputable companies just don't make or sell it because it's just not viable. The chameleon films are fucking sweet though. Okay, so we put this here, right? I was just gonna drag it around the car. Oh, I gotta unplug this. That was for the heat box. Oh, which was plugged in. I haven't showed you guys that on stream yet. And look, another heat gun. Ooh. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a new tank, and then we're gonna put, we're gonna go back to Flexzilla hoses because they look awesome. And we're gonna put a hose station here and a hose station there, and we're just gonna run the hose right along the floor. And then when I come back to my spray tank, oh shit, I totally forgot about that. I was gonna show you guys that, and then I got distracted. I need like a little heat gun station for here though, because this isn't exactly like the safest leaving that. It's where you get branded. Oh yeah, but this quick connect, right? And then just have two, right? And just pa-pa, and then leave that there. Yeah, I need a couple of holders. But I want them to look cool. So my Wagner broke, the bottom plug keeps falling out. I haven't had that issue with it. Sounds like you're rough with it. Those will last usually about 6 to 8 months for me though. The Harbor Freight ones, yeah, I actually got one of those. The Drill Masters. They're good. They work really, really well, but they will randomly die on you for one reason or or the next. So the switches, like, yeah, see this guy? Yeah. They're good, solid heat guns as far as, like, getting the shit done. But they'll just randomly fizzle out, so get a couple of them if you're gonna use those. Always have a backup heat gun. And then when you use your backup heat gun, go get another one. That's a pro tip for myself, too. Oh, we gotta do the back window, so we'll leave this here. Oh, but you guys wanna see something awesome? You guys see this bongo thing? Oh, I never saw the spring in there. Oh, interesting. So this fucking crazy ass thing is, I don't know how long this is gonna last, but it seemed interesting enough to try. This is a camping stool, and watch. Wha-bam! Isn't that fucking awesome? Hell yeah. Boom. Seat. Portability. Compactness. This thing's it's fucking great. I don't know how long it's gonna last though, but it was like 25 to 30 on Amazon. So there you guys go ham. I have like my foldy one, and it's not as comfortable. This one's a little bit more comfortable, but it's like, it is more compact, which is great. Oh, this is sticking great. I've done a bunch of cars. I think Ford. I need 3 Roombas. Oh, okay. So we figured out the trash can situation. That'll be here next week. So I'm really disappointed and happy that we're getting them. So I went on a trash can exploring adventure. For some reason, I have a hard time just like seeing an option and buying it. Like, yeah, just get a whatever trash can. No, fuck that. You kidding me? I gotta go research trash cans for 2 days. So that's exactly what I did. And I priced out all my options for fucking trash cans. And I'm annoyed because what I really need is my scrubby. Where's my scrubby sauce? Fuck. I had it. It was there. Oh, maybe it's under a towel or something. No? Really? Guys, where's my scrubby sauce? Oh, it's in the box. I put it back in the box? I didn't think I did that. Oh, okay. Whatever. All right, so I priced out all my options for trash cans. I am ashamed at the amount of time that I spent on trash cans. But what I discovered is that there are dual trash cans. So one side for trash and one side for recycling. So I was looking for a stainless steel trash can. Ooh, wait, hang on. Sorry, I got a call from a potential customer. Hang on. Hello, Detroit Tint Studio. How can I help you? Yeah, sure. What kind of car do you have and what are you looking to get done? Okay, one window on a Ford Fusion. It would be $50 for the one window. I could get you in as early as Saturday though. That would be 9 a.m. I could get you in, but I gotta take a small deposit to hold the spot on Saturdays. So what I can do is send you a PayPal link with just a $20 request, and then I'll have you in the books for Saturday at 9 a.m. And it won't take long. Usually on like the small stuff, it's a little difficult because I don't have a waiting area, but it'll only take me like about 20 minutes to do. Yeah, so if you want to drop it off, that's fine, but it'll be done really quick. So like, I do this out of my home studio, so like if you hang around the garage, if the weather's nice, it won't take long at all. So it's up to you. Okay, what's your name? Okay, how do you spell that? Okay, now, and then can you give me an email address I can send that link to? 32. Okay. At Gmail. Okay, and what kind of car was this on? What kind of vehicle was this for? Oh, yeah, Ford Fusion. All right. All right, I got you down. I will send this right over. And this goes right towards the balance on that, so you'll be 50 out the door. It'll be 20. So it's just... Yes, goes right towards the bill. Yep, not a problem. Okay, bye. What's up, boys? Damn, that call was... Oh, you guys like that? Yeah, so, okay, that's fun. All right, so I gotta do this really quick. So let me, here, sorry. I'm trying to not give too much away here, so I didn't want to, like, dox an email, but I don't think it would matter. So I'm still kind of learning what to say and how to say it, but like there's a few things. I need to figure out what kind of car, what kind of work, and then, yeah, especially with something like that. Like I need a deposit for even a small job like that because it's the time. And what I've done is I've booked simple stuff that has just like wasted my time that hasn't shown up. One window is like, yeah, it's going to be a really quick, easy thing, in and out, no problem, right? But if they don't show up, then you just blocked off that time, or if they showed up late, then you just, again, you blocked off that time. So I don't like sending a deposit for that, but when I'm, like this one was a call, said it could come right down, sure, bring it on down, no need for a deposit there. But if I'm booking anything out more than a day, I'm asking for a deposit now. I haven't had, it weeds people out. I haven't had a single person flinch at leaving a deposit. I make it super easy for them. I don't need you to come down. I'm going to send you a link for a deposit. And then most people have PayPal. Somebody did it on a Cash App. Like, just whatever's easy for them. And it hasn't been a problem. So I leave a note. So this is 9 a.m. 1 window Ford Fusion. Saturday. And I let them know, oh, here's an interesting thing. I want to make this really, really clear. So what I've noticed with deposits too is they act like installments. Is it always, this is a perfect question. Is it always 20 or does it change depending on the job? I was really uncomfortable asking deposits, so I started with 20 and that's all I've been doing. However, you requested, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I got this right. And then what I do is I send them a quick text. I think you can raise that deposit price, no problem. I've just always been like, 20, is that okay? Yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, cool. But what am I trying to say? Sorry, I keep getting distracted by chat too. So when I ask for a $20 deposit, that could easily be pushed up more. And what it acts as, I've noticed, is an installment. So they're like, oh, I paid $20 today and I only have to pay $30 tomorrow. Sometimes you'll get yourself like an upgrade out of that. And it was like really weird. It was starting with windshield strips. Like people would be like, wait, so I already left the deposit, so it's only this much today, right? Yeah. They're like, okay, yeah, that's fine, add it. And it was like, so I'm gonna raise that and I'm gonna play with some numbers and then we're gonna try some stuff. For your Fusion on Saturday at 9. So I do a couple things here. And this is kind of as much as a help for me as them. I immediately send them a text with either the direction or with like information about their car, just like as a reference. So if I get a phone call or I get a text back from this number, I know immediately what the job is. I just joined and see you talking about deposits. I've been doing $50 deposits on any full job, meaning a full vehicle the day that's scheduled, even if it's 2 weeks out. That is really encouraging. I'm gonna raise them up to 50. I think that's beautiful. I think 50 is actually a really, really good number because it's like, yeah, I'm sure I wanna get this done. Somebody that like, it weeds those people out really, really quickly. So if somebody, like I've literally coasted people through getting an appointment for a window tint and they're just like, yes, people, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they don't show up. And so when you get to that point where you're like, hey, I need you to leave a deposit, they're like, ah. And then you're like, do you need some time to think of it? And you kind of give them an out if they're unsure because they're not your clients at that point. So yeah, a couple things going on there for sure. But what I like about the $50 deposit is, let's say, all right, so right now I'm at $240. And if you leave a $50 deposit, then on the date of install, you're $50 discounted on whatever film that you want to get installed, even though you're technically not discounted, but it doesn't hurt as much that day. So sometimes it's just like pay a little here, pay more there. It works out. So $50 deposits, I think is really, really smart. All right, we're going back. Boom. Deposits definitely weed out the jokers, 100%. I haven't had a single issue. And it's one of those things, right? Like, well, why wouldn't you be okay with getting a deposit? Or with leaving a deposit, right? If you're serious about it, and I made it easy for you to leave one, like, you're gonna show up, or you're gonna communicate with me, or you're gonna do something. So, again, we're getting distracted, but I'm glad that was helpful. I'm still, like I said, I don't have this self, so that's just kind of what I figured out so far. And it's working. So be nice, figure out what they want. And to be honest, I totally overthought talking to customers and stuff like that. Bro, for the most part, they just want to get their windows tinted. That's why they're calling you. And they're asking about pricing. So they don't even know what your pricing is, right? So they haven't really looked into you very much unless it's listed. So then you just kind of like talk to them. And then before you know it, it's only been like 3 to 5 minutes. And then when they drop it off, it's only 3 to 5 minutes and you spend a little time. You walk them through the options that you have. You figure out what they want. You give them a bomb customer experience, like a bomb in a good way, like a bomb ass customer experience. And that's it. That's like what I didn't want to deal with for years and years. But there are a few issues that I've ran into. So a couple of the issues too so far with like just talking to customers and stuff. Because I honestly thought there would be a bigger problem with people showing up here. It hasn't been a problem really at all. I think those people weed themselves out naturally. Or if they wouldn't have thought to come to a place like this, like somebody's house, then like by the time that they get here, if they haven't done the research, then they're just kind of like already here. So they're like, oh, I guess this is okay. Because what are they going to do? Are they going to leave at that point? I haven't had anybody do it yet. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did, but it's one of those things where I don't need to over-explain it. I just need to make it very clear that they need to drop off the car, which sometimes I forget about. Hasn't been a problem yet, but Oh, that's a good one. I've had this awkward situation where a customer's friend has come into my shop before. I had a certain price. Now I've raised the price, but the friend doesn't know this because he trusted. I am in that situation right now. I had to do a set of doors. I did it for 80 because like one of my early inquiries was all set up like that. And then I very quickly changed my prices. And I'm still going to change my prices. Because the vast majority of people are asking you how much it is. They don't know what your prices are. And it's all supply and demand, right? I started lower than I wanted to in the beginning, but I still started somewhere where I thought was competitive and got my foot in the door. But I very quickly was going to raise my prices depending on what I saw. So, but I've had that same situation where it's like somebody calls and like your pricing changed, but then their buddy, and then it's like, ah, shit. But that's, you're right. Awkward situations. But yeah, for the most part, like this was just like a, hey, I want to get my windows tinted. It's like, yeah, bring it on down. And then they showed up. They had somebody to pick them up. We talked to them about options. They were super chill. And then that was it. I've had a couple, like, so if it's something small, like a set of doors, I've told them they need to drop it off. And then when they got there, they're like, man, I tried to get a ride. It just wasn't happening. I'm here. Do you mind if I wait? And in that case, no, I don't mind at all. Like, hey, you're here. It's going to be a quick job. If it was going to be like a full car, then I think we're kind of running into some issues. But I've never had that happen with a full car yet. I'd probably just suck it up and do it, right? They already came here. They tried to get a ride, and it just wasn't working out. So it's like you still want to try and be accommodating, but it's not like a trend where I'm seeing people come in and then wait anyways. Yes. Oh, somebody just said in chat, just say it's a limited promo. That's exactly what I said. Thank you for pointing that out. Because it honestly was. I just didn't define it as a promo at the time. But I started with coronavirus. So it's like, yeah, I was trying to at least just get some stuff in here because I still want to do live streams and shit. I'm not doing a lot of work anywhere else. So I started that way. But just because you start that way doesn't mean you have to stay there. I wouldn't wall myself into that pricing for too long though. Definitely gotta, like, because the more referrals that you get, the more people talk about what your pricing is, but it doesn't mean that they all know what it is. But when you get that buddy group start coming in, that's yeah, you can wall yourself in into a bit of a pickle. But hey, they're all referrals, like whatever. You know, that's just like the ups and downs, talking about it bluntly. We're gonna raise this up in a sec. What is your phone number? I'm not gonna say it on stream. It's on the studio website though, but like we're not gonna have call-ins. It's a business line for customers. I always forget to actually talk about the installation at this point. Is that what we're doing? Or are we just talking about getting people in and pricing and stuff? That to me is more interesting. When I use Dawn, I get tiny water specks. Well, so if it's a really hot day, maybe it's air, and that's dependent on the way you're squeegeeing out the window. The more slick the solution is, the easier those are to handle. But usually specks are dirt, So it's tough to say. I'm getting pinches when I pull out the liner. Yeah, it can definitely happen. It depends on how far you tuck the film into the seal. And it also depends on the tightness of those seals. So if you just go a little bit into the seals, then you're probably not gonna have that happen. If you go much farther, then it's just like you had to pinch it much farther. So I had like a slight bend there, but it's already locked down. But you'll see me touch those up all the time. You make it look so easy? Okay, all right. So this past week, I know it's been a little while since we've done a stream, but there was a handful of cars that I've done in the meantime that were mostly for me and really didn't go that well. So like I said, I did a Mustang yesterday and I tinted the driver's door, no joke, 4 times. This is a very, very simplistic car, so this one's going to look easy. But I still have plenty of times. Like here, we got a little, we got a dry spot here? Is that what that is? See what I mean? Like there can be whatever problems pop up. Let me make sure that's okay. Yeah, we're almost all gone. Just a little bit. Good deal. Cool. But yeah, so I had those little floaty things in the air. There was older Mustang convertible. Back window took me literally, I spent 45 minutes, an hour on that back window. Just because I tried to make it as perfect as I could. I've been like, guys, I'll be honest, I've been overly critical about the work that I'm doing here to a fault, to where I'm like, I'm stressing myself out sometimes. I'm getting behind. Like, okay, so good story was the other day was I had a Honda CR-V for 2 doors and a full windshield. And I've been working on this technique and that windshield turned out awesome. And then I got it all cleaned up and he's like, hey, just give me like a 15-minute heads up when you're almost done so like we can start heading over. And it's like, yeah, no problem. So I do that and I'm like always extra cautious when I like, yeah, the vehicle is done. And then you like run into and you like cleaning it up and then you see something, you're like, fuck. And then you start freaking yourself out. Well, what happened on that CR-V, the windshield turned out great except for one little teeny tiny hair at the driver's side, right on the edge. And I already gave him that 15-minute heads up and I was like stressing. And I got it out and I was like, cool, all right, perfect. And then I wiped down the passenger door and I wiped down the driver's door, go back to the passenger door. Sure as shit, a straight line scratch about that long was in the film. And I'm like, motherfucker. Oh, I was so mad. And then as soon, like I put a piece of film on the outside, start cutting it, and that's when he starts walking up the driveway. And I'm like, man, I'm so sorry. I have to redo this window. And then I'm just like stressed out, shaky, because he's waiting outside and he's waiting on me, and I want to get that shit done quick. Like they drove out 35 to 40 minutes, I think, to get this done. And they usually go to another place and they were referred over to me. And I was just like, And the guy was super cool. But it's one of those situations where it's like, sometimes I'm being overly critical and then you just take longer on the job itself and then you like totally miss something and then you're like, So it's been cool. I like tinting from home and sometimes things go really, really well. And then there's some days, man, I am just like, I'm a basket case some days. So trust me, it doesn't always go very smooth. But I did those off stream because I just didn't have the time to risk going on stream and then like trying to run the stream at the same time I'm tinting. So I just like, there's certain times I'll go live where I'm sure I can handle this, or it's the right situation. I know I have the time. Because you'll do that in the morning. You have like a car in the morning, right? And then you have another one scheduled like 2-3 hours later. What is that? Oh, that's the Shopify thing. Why didn't it show up? Hang on. Did I get a... No? Wait. Sorry. Oh, that was the... Oh, I gotta leave this up because... Yay! Somebody ordered... All right, let me shout somebody out really quick. What was it? Sorry, I'm covering some of it up. Michael, thank you for ordering Glass Aid. Holy shit. That's what that is. I disabled it, but it's still popping alerts up. So I'm figuring shit out. Unfortunately, that didn't pop up in time. Yeah, we're using Clay Bar. But yeah, so like there's lots of times where I'll schedule an appointment. And then I'll have another appointment scheduled after that. And then like, so they show up a little late, you spend a little longer talking to the customer, and then I don't have time to stream it, or it's one of those cars where I'm like, I don't think I can do this in a sufficient time unless I'm off stream and I can just focus on the work. So like, it's been an especially good, that's on the outside. It's been an especially frustrating thing this past week. Always make always make sure that the customer doesn't need window film removed. Up here, it's safe to assume that they don't, but if they show up, you by no means are obligated to keep that price. Like you gotta put your foot down in that situation. Like, okay, here's the thing. If it's one window and it's really not that big of a deal or something like that, that's one thing. But if you're talking about, yeah, like a full car removal, that's like somebody just telling you it's one thing over the, like it literally is that, right? Somebody telling you one thing over the phone and it's a completely different situation because sometimes they just don't realize it. So be a little bit courteous for sure, or understanding. Just like some people don't, like, I don't know how many, like I've had a handful of people getting front doors done. So I've had people ask about like getting their SUVs tinted, and then they show up and they're like, oh yeah, I didn't realize I had the back tinted already. I just need the front doors now. It's just like, that's just there's certain things that are just part of the job, I think. So you're by no means at fault for like asking them. You're like, hey, has your car tinted before? Or anything like that. I always, I don't know. I try, like, I'm always really conscious about the number of things that I always ask them because like, can you drop it off? Can I take a deposit? Can I do this? Can I, like, you know what I mean? Like those are the only reasons. I just like, I'm still a little nervous on the phone. Still wasted time, even if it's a set of doors and they come off messy. True, very true. And that's where it's like, it depends. So it's just dependent on the situation. And like, I also want to include, like, depends on you as a business and what you want to handle on your own. There's some things that I think it's like, it might be worth it to just be very low. Like the last thing I want is them to think they're getting bait and switched in some way, is what I'm very conscious about. And you kind of got bait and switched, right? But sometimes people just don't realize it, and like to be hey, don't worry, I'll take care of that for you. Sometimes that's cool. But those are all unspoken things, and everybody can handle it the way that they see fit. It's cool though, because we can just have a cool discussion about options and what people do. I really appreciate like people chiming in with different things. I am by no means the authority I'm what, 2 months? No, 3 months? 3 months at this point? February? Like March, April, May, June? 4? Shit. I think the end of March. So I feel like 3 months. Not bad for 3 months though. I forget stuff when I'm on the phone. Oh, I do that all the time too. Had a guy call me about a car and told me it wasn't tinted. Once he arrived, I realized the entire car had tint on it. I told him, charge him for the removal, and he came and got the car and left. I've had that same situation. That situation though, it's really like, okay, what do you want to get yourself into? And dude, I've had that happen. So there's like, and I got dogged for doing this too at the time. They're like, well, you know, getting some money is better than not getting any money. And it's like, yeah, sometimes it depends on how hard you want to work for that money. So I had a like car with old metallic film, same situation. Guy came in for an appointment. He was all set, dropped off the car. Sales guys were too fucking lazy to go out and look at the car. And then they like ring him up. And then the guy starts bitching a fit when they call him back because nobody took the time to go look at the car. Oh my God, the number of times people don't go look at the car with a customer drives me fucking insane. Spend 2 minutes. Here's a good piece of advice for everybody. If somebody comes to your establishment getting windows tinted, go out to the car with them. Unless you like are 100% sure what you're getting into. Just like, it's nice to just like, look, let's go out, let's look at the car really quick, let's talk about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Take a couple minutes out of your life, spend it with the customer who's paying you some money and show them some good goddamn service. Because you can always run into those situations. It was tinted, it's extra dirty. Is there something you didn't realize? It's a different type of car. And like, they would do this for, like, customer comes to pick up their car and they're like, hey, I noticed some like bubbles, and they're like, oh yeah, that's fine, don't worry about it. And then like the customer is like, no, go out there with the customer and fucking like show them what you're talking about. Jesus. I worked with a lot of frustrating sales guys, just half-ass everything, and I don't even have to work very hard. If I can bring them in, show them the heat box, talk to them for like 3 minutes, and then that's it. They come pick up their car and they're happy. What did you use for the panels? Oh, that's I'm on a carpet shield. I found this at Lowe's. I bought 3 more rolls. It kind of sticks. It sticks really well to these ones, but sometimes there's been panels where it just like doesn't stick well too. And then I've noticed you can literally just make a little incision here and then you can push the switch. You don't have to do anything more than that. Because I was rounding shit. Do I ever do one-step install? No. If it's on frameless windows, I will. For the vast majority of framed windows, no. I don't like pulling the seals. I don't like pulling the panels, but that's me. That's just how I like to do things, because the more I can leave things OEM, the better. And for the vast majority of cars, you can do that just fine. Sure, it takes practice. The easier route is taking shit apart, but like I say easier, like, yeah, if there's cars and you know the panel, the seals pull out, like this is, like I said earlier, this is always somewhat of a controversial thing to talk about, even though there's not much controversy with it. There's just very strong opinions both ways. I don't like to, but I have no problem with people that do. I just personally don't like to take on the liability, and that's for those reasons, I'm out. Can you make sure to include the next car you have a windshield strip on? How about this car? Because we actually are doing a windshield strip, and holy shit, I'm glad you actually said that, because I kind of forgot that we are doing a windshield strip, so... Yeah, we'll do it on this one. And it's good because this one's actually a really easy one to do because it's got such a big ceramic border. Hang on. Wait, was it no? Oh, hang on. 1 second. Okay, sorry, I got a text and I don't want to dox somebody again. Like I said, I feel like every live stream is the same thing that you talk about, the carpet shield you tried. Bro, they're all the fucking same. They all are. A lot of times I don't try stuff differently. I use the same shit. Sometimes I run into issues. My install process is the same. The films that I use are the same. A lot of the shit is fucking same. But here we are. That's why, like, I thought for a long time, like, for videos, it's like a lot of what I do is the exact same thing. It's not like unique door panels. It's like, you know, so it's like a good. I love doing this, but like, yeah, you're 100% right. It's always the fucking same. Three. Oh, I sent it to the wrong one. Okay. Request. I kind of wish. Wait, I gotta have them text me their emails because I'm sending them to wrong places. It's hard to sometimes understand. Props to like people that take emails over the phone. Sometimes they just like, Okay, so this is Fusion 1 window Saturday 9 a.m. appointment. Okay. Whoa, that stressed me out for a second. I used I used glass aid on the windshield for the first time, and then it like paused, and I was like, I hope it's good. It worked great. Cool. Okay. I gotta ignore. Sorry, I'm gonna get distracted. What are we at? We're at 30%. I wonder if we can just change this really quick while we're over here. Yeah, let's do that. Do you always get pinch points? No, not always, but they're frequent enough. It's always a spot that I look for, but like, they're not like hard creases, and they're not like, they're. This is the one thing that like. That I'll always have a discussion. God. Oh, this fucking cable. This is the wrong cable to do this with. There we go. Too bad you can't get glass aid in Canada. I do international shipping, but it's as long as the international shipping works. I've had Canadian orders, but it's expensive. It is a GoPro battery. Don't tell me it's not a GoPro battery. It's definitely a GoPro battery. Gotta head out. Just want to say thanks again for the info. You're welcome, man. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, okay. So the second part of that question, do you always get pinch points? I just about always get them and always have to press them out. You'll just gradually, you'll be lighter about it over time, like try and not press as hard. And on looser seals, you won't get them. Or if they're like there a little bit, they'll press down very easily depending on the film that you're using. But yeah, it'll take you 2 seconds to press them out. But like it's one of those things where it's like, it's such an insignificant amount of time to like touch them up that I don't ever think that it's a big deal. So. What's up, bro? Do you have a PO box? I can ship you a roll of tint so you can review it. You could ship it to Detroit Tint Studio, and I'll get it. I don't know if I'll do a review on it. It takes time, and it's like, it's hard to be very distinctive about what's different about one film versus the next. But I mean, you can ship it here and I'll have it. I just can't guarantee that I'll do much with it, because I'll have companies that send me film too. Like, they'll send sample rolls, and it's just like, it takes time to get to it, and I like what I'm using, so. What's the longest did it take you to tint a car? Good question. 1 second. All right, let me put this on. What's the longest that it took me to tint a car? Well, how about 5 hours on a Honda Civic hatch, literally like a week and a half ago? Yeah, like no joke, 5 hours. But it was with a full windshield. But so here's the thing, I was like die-hard picky on that job. Earlier on, it would easily take me 4 or 5 hours to tint a car. But I worked at my dad's accessory shop, and they had to make a profit. So they would pull in work, and I would have to speed the fuck up. So, hey, we got a super chat. Ah, fuck. I didn't hear what it was. Did it say like, thank you, I gotta head out or something like that? If somebody can read it to me, that would be great. I am right in the middle. But thank you. Thank you so much for that super chat. You just caught me at a unique time. There's too many fuzzies to like run back over. Oh God, I almost fell. There we go. Oh, and the nice thing about this tool too, it slides kind of. Like if you're, okay, probably not on a concrete floor, but on my race deck floor, it like scooches a little bit. So it doesn't have wheels, but it's nice because I can at least adjust it while I'm on it. Ooh. Should be good. Yeah, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Let me finish this and I will look. Thanks again. See you next time. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you for whoever typed that out, too. I really appreciate that. See you, bro. Thank you for hanging out, and thank you so much for the super chat. Have you ever dropped the tint on the floor just before it hits the glass? Yeah, that's happened. That'll happen a lot in the beginning. Like, where you're just like, right? Or like you'll half catch it and you'll crease it, or it'll smack the door panel and you're just like, fuck me. It's donezo. Okay, so this one. Looks like the type of guy that would be into BMX but didn't study window tints. I was actually big time into skateboarding. Motocross was cool, but I always really liked skateboarding and snowboarding for a brief time. I've been binge watching Braille's channel though lately. Braille skateboarding. They've done some crazy shit, and I love the way that they started being creative with skateboarding, because it's very translatable into like kind of what I'm doing. So it's like they were just like using stuff that people were sending in and and just like they're not just being professionals with it. They're like just having a good time and trying different shit out and whatnot. It's not as interesting with window film, but like similar things like going to Walmart and then trying to use the Walmart shit. It's kind of the connection that I made there. Those videos did much better over time than a lot of my my professional help videos. Just hits a bigger audience. But you don't learn, you have fun and you get introduced to it, but you don't really learn. You kind of learn like what not to do and the issues with it. Good deal. How do you keep side contamination? Or something to that effect? Good question. Oh, this is the gum window. You guys see that? That's on the inside. Good times. That was, look, and they were here, and they're just like, you know, something like that. I have no, like, it's gross, don't get me wrong, but they paid for the job, take a couple minutes to clean the window, whatever, no biggie. What's the weirdest thing I've seen in a customer's car? Not a lot comes to mind. I don't see that bizarre things, but there was like, oh, there's a bag of weed in the trunk, and guns. Guns always like, they don't freak me out, but I'm just like, I just don't like having somebody casually leave a gun pointed towards a driver's seat, you know? One of those things that really like irks me. Oh yeah, sorry, bro. Can I just leave that there? Can you like not point it away? Or can you like point it away so it's not gonna shoot me when I drive your car? Or like they'll just cram their gun in like the center console or something like that in between the seat. It's like, bro, what the fuck? Oh, I was gonna cover. I've run into that. But by and large, it's like kids' seats, dirty cars. That's about as weird as it gets on the daily. But I've had a couple of bizarre things that come to mind. I'm sure I've seen more than that. Oh, there was one car. There's like a horrendously filthy car that literally had. Okay. Here's a couple. I actually got a couple things that came to mind. So there's one where they had cat litter, literally cat litter all in the back. Like, yeah, they have cats and they come in their car, so they just threw cat litter all in the back so they could literally shit in their car. Like, what the fuck? And then there was another one. Oh fuck, I'm forgetting what it was. Shit. I hate that. Where you have it and you get distracted and then you forget what it is. Hang on, I'll think of it. But yeah, that cat one was so fucking weird. There's just like certain people that aren't really certain people. They just never got the memo. All right. Yummy. Ooh, who wants some gum? Sick. Can we? Yuck. Oh, fuck. It smells minty. Gonna go get another blade. Normally that wouldn't gross me out, but it's like, then you start, ew. Prosthetic leg for me. That's actually probably going to become way more common of a thing. Yeah, the cat needed privacy when shitting. 100%. What is this, a scratch? Oh, I thought this was like a whatever. Ew, they like an actual side, like a scuff scratch. Usually stuff like that's just dirty. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Oh, and where's my phone? Oh, here. God, I thought I looked there. Hello, Detroit Tint Studio. How can I help you? Oh. Oh, maybe it was from before. If it was about. Is it? Sorry, is this the client with the Malibu? Oh, I'm sorry. That was earlier, before, when you were still on the way. I wasn't like, it was like a half an hour. I was just seeing where you were at the time. But yeah, everything's going good. I'm wrapping up the fourth door right now, and then going to work on the back window. It'll probably be done in about an hour. Alrighty. Yep, you're welcome. Bye. Okay. Well, that was exciting. So you see how it's even more challenging to like sometimes run a stream and then still like handle clients and stuff like that, but the phone calls aren't that bad. Unless I get a bunch of them, then like I'll just ignore my phone. Just text me. But yeah, somebody asked about contamination on the side. So here's what I do. This is literally what you'll see me do on every car. Squeegee, squeegee. We move everything over, right? And then we swipe down. So the scrubby and the clay bar, those are two things that I used. You want to wipe off your top edge at least, because you could have random dirt trail down. But there's a long time I didn't do that, and I still put out good, clean work. So the next step is really going to come down to installation here. So we peel it, usually half, sometimes 3/4. This is a really easy window to do. You pick it up, you move it over, and then we roll up the long side. That's generally easier for me to do. Start with the long side, let the small side hang off, and then roll up the tint a little bit, and then we'll coast it, right, into the seal. And you notice when we did that, the film wasn't buckling, it wasn't bunching, it wasn't doing a whole bunch of weird shit. If your film is doing a whole bunch of weird shit, you need to adjust. Oh shit, the ice cream man. Fuck. We gotta stop. We gotta go get some ice cream. Whoa, what was that? Was that hello? We've been hearing the ice cream truck go by this area a bunch of times in the past 3 days. Remember those days? And I would like, oh man, my family would freak out. Can we get ice cream? There's only 6 of us. So, tuck in one side, tuck in the other. The side that you're tucking in should be very flat. And then you just fucking do it. Squeegee, squeegee, roll up, and then roll in the bottom. Oh, that is not what I wanted to happen. No, my carpet plastic. All right, dudes. So we start with one corner. If it starts sticking on you, wiggle it. If it's wiggling and it's still sticking a lot, add more soap because your film is too tacky for your own good. And then we tuck in one corner, tuck in the other one, roll it up above the seal, kind of make this tunnel. You were shaving windows a few weeks back. How is that going? It's not great, but I am better at fixing mistakes. So if I have a spot that is hanging over the top, I'm now much better at filing that off with my blade and getting a nice, good install without having to like try and peel it back, slide it down or something like that. I'm much, much better. So I'm getting more confident, but I still have hangups. And one thing I will say that really, really helped is warmer weather. Even with taking a torch on the outside, I'm telling you, if it's above 70 degrees, it's easier to do it. So I'm sure people that have been doing it for a long time can probably just do it in the cold or whatever, air conditioning. For me, it's been much, much easier when it's got that little bit of natural tack to it. If it's sliding all over the place, it's not going very well for me. But other than that, I have to kind of like dry out the entire window at the top, really get it to stick, and then, you know, then it's much easier. But when it's wet, that's getting better. I don't know if it's ever something I'm gonna offer at this point. I really don't. I don't want to say never, but it's one of those things that, like, for the most part, the people that I'm talking to at my price point, they just want tint. They want a good quality film. They're just like, does it look good? I haven't had anybody ask about the top edges here yet, specifically, but I get really, really close to where if you haven't done much research on window film, then you wouldn't know it's a thing. So my primary goal is trying to upsell into like carbon. That's like goal number one. So like trying to explain filed top edges and shit like that, we're not there yet. I think that's a natural case of overthinking what I'm doing versus what people naturally want. So they have been asking what other services I do out of curiosity. Like, do you do anything else? Like vinyl or taillights or something? So we might add on to it, but I don't know. I'm at this cool point where I don't need to. Because I don't want, like, it's like, how long is it going to take me to wrap taillights? And how much am I going to earn from it? The cool thing is, like, it's more for one car. Like, it bumps up the ticket price per car, which is great. Right? Because if you have one car in the door and you can make more off of it, it's better than just going car after car after car. You're like maximizing your potential. How much we want to do that, I'm not sure yet. I'd like to add something, but I'm still trying to figure out what that something is. Something generally easier though. So maybe paint protection film, but I kind of like, so I was talking to my wife the other day. about this. I kind of want something that you could walk in here and see and go, that's cool. How much is it? Something that just kind of looks cool that sells itself. Come in for tint, get something extra. So I was thinking like hydrophobic coating for glass would maybe be cool, but I need a really, really effective display for it. Interior detail? No, fuck that. I am not gonna be a detailer. It's too much. It's too much like pain in the ass labor for me. Matt, you're awesome, and I thank you for being open and honest, taking your time to teach us. Aw, thanks, dude. You're very welcome. Cold beer? It's like they come in here and they go, wow, that cold beer looks awesome. I want one. Get sponsored by Rain-X? Ooh, here we go. We got somebody thinking outside the box now. Now we're... Yeah, Glassparency was pushing a lot of marketing, but they're, I know people that have talked to Glassparency, and it was kind of like a shit show. They're very, very, let's just say they're very corporate. There was this cool looking one called G-Technic, but I never thought of actually talking to the company. But I kind of want something that's going to... Like, okay, so here was my idea so far. For hydrophobic coating, but it would kind of ruin the display. I would have basically a shower spraying on that window, and you'd see one side hydrophobic and one side where it's sticking, and it would just be running kind of like a fountain when they walk in, and they go, what is that? Or what's it doing? I detailed for 16 years with many vomiting faces. How do you deal with anti-fog on the window? There's nothing that I do for anti-fog, actually. I've seen that's somewhat a thing, but I don't have anything for that. You could do chameleon window tint. I want to. I like the idea of doing chameleon tint. I think it would be awesome for social media, and it would just like make some cool ass videos, and it'll look really, really fun. And then people would get in trouble for it, and that's fine. That's not me. But it's still the same thing. So it would be like a competitor to my own film, right? So it's like, yeah, I could put it on my windshield, but I'm still gonna get the whatever tint on the sides, or chameleon all the way around, or whatever. So it's like, it's a different option, and it would be really, really cool, but it wouldn't be an addition. Taillights are a pretty natural thing, and then I looked up the Lux videos, and he's got a fantastic channel, and he's made an awesome film, and I greatly respect all of that and the people that do it. But it just like, on these ones, it wouldn't be that bad, but there's so many worse taillights than this, and I just like, I've seen it. I don't want to spend an hour and a half fucking around with lights. It's more time. I need something that's like efficient and cool. So like paint protection film on the front of the bumpers, those are actually pretty quick. You can charge a lot more for those too. But I don't want to do, like, it would basically be like the hood lips, door edge guards, some simple stuff like that. That wouldn't be a bad one, but it like, there isn't really an effective, there's like some interesting displays, but there's no like, I haven't seen like a wow factor display. Just stuff that's like, oh, that's interesting. No, I want them to see it, and I want them to go like, oh shit, that's cool. I don't know if there's actually something like that, But like the obvious ones would be like hood wraps, roof wraps, you know, taillights, shit like that. That's pretty endemic to what I do. But none of that floats my boat yet. Plus, I don't like, and I'm at the point where I don't need to. But it's definitely been on my mind. You make it look easy. I'm on my 3rd tint job and always mess up the back window. Oh, well, you'll get there. You're on, oh, 3rd tint job period. Ooh, well, that's fine. Sorry, like, yeah. I remember how long it took and how many tries it took for me to do back windows. So you are definitely not alone. Like, fast forward your own skill 11 years, you'll be much, much better too. Just got to keep at it. I don't know. I tinted with a lot of pressure too. So I was like the only tinter for a company, and that was my dad's company. So there's even more pressure there because it's family, right? And, you know, they'd pull in whatever cars, and then they would book whatever price, and then they would write them all on the board, and then I'd have to get through them, and it would take me like 3 hours to do a car, and then there were problems with that car, but I didn't have the time to fix it. So what I ended up learning is doing the best job that you could with the time that you had. And that was always really, really a helpful lesson, because you will be your own worst critic. And it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. You want it to be the best install that you've ever seen. But look at what you're charging and look at what you need to do, and sometimes you just can't make that happen, but you sure as hell try. But customers, by and large, are not going to be as picky as you, the installer. So take that into consideration. That doesn't mean do a bad job, but like, you know what I mean? Little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This shit happens. It's not something we're proud of, but it's something I guarantee you every fucking person has dealt with. It said that emoji said carrot flex bicep. Like what? Oh, somebody asked how much for windshield and dye film. I charge $130 right now for just a windshield. I had the tint guy cut the breast cancer logo into my back window. After I installed, I paid $50 extra. He said he never done that before, and now everyone's been asking how I got that done. Graphics is an interesting one for sure. I used to be big into like the tint graphics options and like playing around with it while I had time. But okay, so here's the thing. If they have like a clear-cut thing that they want to get done, it's not that bad. Oh, did I really do that? Oh, I guess for the back window, it's not that bad. I should have hung this back up there. I was already leaving it on the floor over there. Bad habits die hard. So the tint graphics is cool, but I don't want it to be complicated. I want to have, like, hey, can you do this? Yeah, sure. And then figure out the size, how much it is. With artwork, it gets kind of funny. Because it's very particular to the person. Like getting a tattoo, right? You need like that consultation time. I wish I could charge that much. Windshield in my area goes for 75. Well, if you're pricing yourself the same as everybody else, I mean, so I can't say it's just going to be easy for you to charge differently than other people, but I do know installers that are breaking the norm. So there's quite a few installers that like, for example, there's a couple in Florida, they just charge more than everybody else, and that's how they started, and they built up that client base over time. They weren't concerned with everybody else, and they had a harder time building that up in the beginning, because it's like you have to reject people. And when you have those people, like it's very easy, like, hey, I want to get window tint. Okay, cool. How much? And then you tell them a price and they go, oh, that's too expensive. And then you get that from like 5 or 6 other people. You think that's the norm. But all it takes is getting that one person that agrees, but then you have to build up that client base. So what you can work yourself into is a cheaper client base overall, where your jobs are referrals for more jobs. Like, yeah, man, I got my windows tinted and it was cheap. It was at this place. They did great work and it didn't cost me anything, right? What's the acceptable amount of contamination in windshields? Well, there's no rule. There's implied rules, and those are stupid. So the IWFA says 5 feet back at an angle. If you can still see it, then you should redo it. But here's the thing. The IWFA is not your customer. The IWFA is just put out generalized rules. The reality of it is if a customer has a problem with your job, you need to try and make the customer happy. Now, sometimes you can't make that person happy, but by and large, if you have something in the driver's line of sight, even if it's small, they're usually going to have an issue with your install. If it's over on the passenger side, they're generally not going to notice it. That's like the loose rule with windshields. But if somebody had an issue with my install on a windshield, I would explain it. I'd be like, hey man, windshields are pretty difficult. I try to do as good of a job as I can. And then make it easy and painless for them. So it's like, hey, bring it back at such and such day, such and such time. I'll take care of it and I'll do the best. But let them, like, they want to know that you care and that you're trying. So sure, you might get those people that are just like, and here, let me just put this thing out there. Generally, cheaper people are harder to deal with. You'll have more issues the cheaper you go. Blanket statement. When you start charging over a certain price, most people are pretty understanding. It's wild how that works, but it's just the way the world works. But anyways, there's no set rules for it. If they got a problem with it, try and do your best to take care of it. Know that's part of the job, and it's not going to be everybody. So, like, for example, if you're like, hey, this dude on this channel that tints a lot of cars told me this is the acceptable thing, and your customer is just like, I don't know who the fuck that is, I don't like the job. Like, my word on that is not shit. So always focus on trying to make the customers happy. Try to at least make it painless, but also with a little bit of nudge, like, hey, I'm really, really trying here. I really, really care about the work that I do. Yeah, it's, oh God, tacking up a little bit. You know what I mean? You just gotta try and do that as best you can. Because every person, I think that's my new thing. Honestly, I didn't think about this so much, like very much, until recently, every job that you do is a potential referral to their friends and family and people just who admire their car. If they're on forums, if they're on groups, when they get their car tinted, they may or may not take a picture and talk about it. You will have no idea any of this is going on in the background, but like, sure, they're gonna tell somebody that they got their car tinted, and then when their buddies want to get their car tinted, oh, where'd you go? How much did they charge you? So keep all that in mind whenever you're doing anything. You never know how shit's gonna come back. Cool. I like this back window. Yeah, see how much space? Like, look at how much space I got. I got space for days. That goes for detailing too? Yeah, absolutely. It goes with everything. Customer's upset, try and take care of them. But no, there's nothing perfect. And you'll always have those situations that are just kind of hurt your nerves. I've had it happen already. So I had this one person, I didn't explain the dot matrix border when they dropped it off. And then they came back, they looked at the job, and then they're like, what is this? Why is it like this? And they questioned literally everything I said after that. And then I told them, I had to try and calm them down. It still was very rough. I was anxious about it for the next couple days. But here's what I told them at the end. I was like, look, I tried, or let's see, I care a lot about the work I do. I put a lot of time into the job. It's good. I've been doing it for blah, 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 whatever. If you have any problems, like, just keep an eye on it. Call me back in a couple days, but you got to give it some drying time. If after that little bit of time, if it's still fucked up and you're not happy with it, I'll take care of it. I promise you I'll take care of it. And then I never heard back from him. So that was nice. But I've had those people. Sometimes there's just like red flags right from the beginning, right? Where it like takes you 30 minutes to like figure something out that should be really simple. This would happen. Like, most people drive up, talk to you for a little bit. Maybe they'll ask a handful of questions and then they'll be on their way. No big deal. Well, there was this one, I was supposed to do this RAM, and then they were talking about the windshield, and it literally, like, they wanted us, we ended up calling the dealership, and they're like, what's that sensor on the mirror? Can you cut a hole around it? Can you do this? Can you do that? What happens if I don't like it? Can you remove it? Can you do this? Blah, 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 blah. Like, holy shit. Instant red flag for the job. It's like, this is going to be a fucked up situation. And sometimes you just, no matter what you do, you see the train wreck coming, you try and jump out of the way. Been in those situations. And that was before I had the chance to even be the one to be the guy setting up the job, so. Main camera. Whew! I got the quarters, but I'm gonna take a second. What is it? Ryan says, Matt, I tinted my garage that has air conditioning randomly on cars with thick matrix borders. When I back the car outside and it's real hot, I've had issues with the tint rolling off the edges. What kind of film are you using? That should not be happening. I've had that happen with a couple films, but it was generally bad film. So there was like this issue that we had on certain Chrysler vehicles where it was almost like there was like a grease or something on the dot matrix border. that was for a little period of time with the film that they were using. It would like roll off the window, but by and large, that should not be happening. That was the last car I tinted. It's been a year since I tinted. I don't remember what the car was. Oh, I should mention, when I'm doing, when I'm tinting, I don't hear usernames, so everybody's the same. Usernames become too much to listen to. I have a magnetron sputter film that doesn't shrink very well as the tint you show. I get creases in the top corners, some cars. Can you suggest any hacks? Oh yeah, you're using a metallized film. Metallized films like HP film, those just don't shrink as easily. It's an older technology too. I'd use so color stable dyed, carbon, ceramic. Carbons don't shrink. Like certain carbons and certain ceramics don't shrink as quickly either, but like you're getting more for the job, so suck it up. An HP film, they'll do a little bit better for reflecting heat, and it's not a bad option. It's just an older technology. Finally, a live stream. we're getting close to being done. All right, so we'll do this this quarter window. You know, I'm more patient now. I am too. And do you know what's really helped? Just kind of not being under stress every day, doing the same hard work over and over. And like just getting a little older, that's helped. That's helped a bunch. So, yeah, okay, I'll put this on and I'll talk about it. Cool. What is that? The defrosters look a little weird there. They like detach. Oh, they detach. What the fuck? This comes down and they're in these spots, they're not connected. Oh, that's goofy. Oh, I wonder if that's like an antenna. I wonder if there's like an antenna down there and then defrost? No, antenna should be, I don't know, whatever. Just something weird that I noticed. We can fix that though, I think, unless it's tacked up. You know, so I've been tinting for like, I think we're going on 12 years now. I lose track, but regardless, I used to tint 5 or 6 days a week. 6 days a week. I used to tint 6 days a week, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And there's some days that went really, really easy. And some days that were just a lot of work. But being under those days for a long period of time where it's just work, 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 dude, you just get drained. And then when you have a situation, you get really frustrated because you don't have time to handle it. Because you got so much other stuff. But every customer is unique, and every customer, they're getting their car tinted, right? So they all want to feel special. Of course, they're spending $200 whatever dollars. So like the vast majority of jobs that just you do well aren't an issue. So when you have those jobs that come back here and there, and you have a problem, it can get incredibly frustrating. Because it's like, oh, it's just something small. Fuck that guy. Like, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal because you see all the cars that you're doing and you know what it's like, but they have no fucking clue what it's like. So, it's just, I don't know. I've been in lots of those situations, and what honestly helped the most, I'm the happiest that I've been tinting by having my own thing at my own pace on my own terms. It's been great. Working for places, when I'm going to the glass shop and I gotta hustle, I don't love it, but I'm like, I'm okay because I don't have to talk to customers that day, and I can kind of just put my head down and do what I do best, but it's only a couple days a week. I have those days where I can relax. I have those days where I can chill out. I can work on my own terms, and then I can go back and hustle. And just like streaming, I'm not streaming every car that I'm doing. If I did, I think I'd be sick of streaming. So I think with like all things, it's like you gotta have a pace or some flexibility. And when window tinting gets treated like every other mechanic's job, it's just gets tiring. It's no longer art. It's no longer very enjoyable. It's just kind of like oh, I just have to get through these cars to get to the end of my day, and then I can go chill out. So yeah, that comment turned into a big segue. But man, tinting out of here, even with the handful of issues that I've had, it's been great. I'm sure we'll have those days where it sucks though. Is the tint turning out clean? Using clay magic? Yeah. Clay bars have been fucking awesome. A ginormous happy surprise. Just one of those things that, like, look at it like a wet clay bar. I'm sorry, not a wet clay bar, a wet tack cloth. These things, and you can wash them, right? So they last for a long time. I'm still on my first container, and like when you run it through the sink for a little bit, it brightens up again. Not to like brand new. Where's my, oh, where is it? I think it's at the bottom. Be careful though, there it is. Don't put it on blades. I have already picked it up once and I saw a blade in there. I was like, ooh, that's gonna get dangerous. Fucking watching out a clay bar and then slice your hand open. Okay. I can see it happening. But yeah, clay bars have been super cool. I actually, I took the plunge. I've got a lot of clay bars coming right now. Like a lot. So, but I'll tell you guys, any glass clay bar, you'll be fine. So it's not like, hey, you gotta use my glass clay bar. No. I see a window here, so. Okay. Where's my glass cleaner? Guys, I'm sorry. You're like mounted on my head, and then I lose things, and then I spend too long looking for them, and then I like swing my head around. Oh, for sure. This is a good one. Is it just me, or is it a big stress relief when you have someone give you a tip with 0 complaints? Someone prior to them being a complete asshole? Hell yeah. That's awesome. And I tell you what, so tips aren't common in window tint, but they absolutely could be. It's just something nobody ever thought to ask for, except like a couple establishments. Like, and here's the crazy thing. When you start charging more, sorry, I saw like a thing. It was probably from like when I cleaned it off. Yeah, right there. There's like 2 little white things. Come on. What the fuck? Just gotta get it right. There it is. We're right in the corner, so it's pog. I feel it right here. There we go. Yeah, getting tips. Okay, so I don't have a ton of experience, but what I can tell you from my experience is generally when you're priced a little bit better, people have a little bit more money to play around with, and when you show them good customer service, they're way more likely to tip. But when I've been tinting cars, I've never gotten a tip from somebody I haven't talked to directly. Maybe a couple, but nothing that comes to mind. So every tip that I've ever received, I had some direct discussion with a customer. Like they came into a shop, and then I went out and I talked to the customer, and then later on when they're checking out, they would give, wasn't super common, but every once in a while a customer would give the sales guy cash and tell them to go give that to me as a tip. So because when you put a face with the job and you show your enthusiasm, stuff like that, that really translates over. And then they're like, oh, there's a dude working on my car and he seems pretty cool, so I want to make sure he's taken care of too. But it's not super common. But like, so here's the crazy thing too. Do any of you guys, can any of you guys tell me what a expected or estimated tip is for a hair salon? Like a hair salon that you take your wife to, that you end up spending a couple $100s on. If any of you have been in that situation, leave it in the comments or in the chat what the average tip has been. From what I've seen, it's been like 10 to 15% of the job. So they're getting it. Why not window tinters, right? Holy shit, yep, there you go. $5? No, not just a regular haircut. Something you take like a fucking nice ass salon. Somebody just called it out in the chat. 20%. I was probably lowballing. A couple $100? Where are you getting? Not me. I'm only like $10 to $15. No. When you take your wife to go get her hair done from like an actual hair salon, dude, they fucking charge through the nose for that shit. Oh, it closed. This is something I don't think all auto guys are really familiar with. Yeah, dude, you can go get your hair cut for $10, but when you take your wife to somewhere where she wants to get it cut, colored, and done, that shit's expensive. And then there's like fucking nice ass tip on top of that. Holy shit, you can easily be $300 out of there. And then they gotta go back in like 3 or 4 months, if not sooner. I don't have a wife yet. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, man, call around. Any women in here that can verify the $200 salon appointment? Probably not. But man, start asking around. Yeah, dude, fucking salons can kill it. I think he's just asking for himself. Yeah, what should I tip? I actually asked them that. And I was shocked at the counter. I was like one of those sticker shock people. I was like, what is the, because they asked me, like, do you want to leave a tip? They literally asked me, they're like, okay, it's so for the cut and this, that, it's $180, plus this recommended shampoo is another $30, and this recommended conditioner is another $30. And then you're like, and then after all that, they're like, and would you like to leave a tip? for the salon person who we vastly underpay. And then you're like, wait, isn't all this money going towards that salon person? Or is it just they being underpaid and they make all their money on tips? Like, I didn't know. I was like, how much, what's the average tip? And they're like, oh, 10%. I was like, what the fuck? God damn. Yeah, shit's crazy. So tell me that window tinters can't do the fucking same. I don't ask for a tip here though. I just it's just one of those things. $10 haircut here in California, 15 to 25 bucks for a men's cut. Yeah, they've been raising it around here too. They want tips because they are underpaid. You're correct. Oh yeah, I assume that for sure. So the crazy thing about that too is like, so you got a salon that is like charging through the nose, but then like underpays their employees. That fucking drives me out the, oh, that drives me insane. I can't, just fucking open your own place at that point. That's like me opening my own tint studio, right? It's like fucking companies want to get over on talented people, and they have the place, and the people are too timid to ask for money, and you know, that's just what the industry pays, so I guess that's as good as I can get, and whatever else. Like, fuck that. That shit drives me crazy. But like me, so like if I get mine, I'll give a good tip, but it didn't cost me much to get it tinted or cut anyways, but yeah. Oh, that's a good. I like how I got chat all buzzed up about this. Plus tip, you at the door for a cut for 30 bucks. But for me, as you can tell, I don't really go very often, so it doesn't bother me. I make almost 200 a night delivering pizzas. Nice. Pizzas, like, so there's those industries where it's like standard to tip, but then there's those ones that people aren't very familiar with, right? Same thing goes for like me being unsure about certain ones. Get you a mirror and learn how to cut your own hair, just saying. Some things are worth learning and some things are worth going to get it done. How do you get dot matrix tinted? We just tint over it, but you'll always have that border. So, but yeah, I guess we're done. That went nice. That was cool. It's nice to just kind of be able to chill out and talk. It's been a little while since we've done one of these. Wait for it. Carlos with the $2. Here's a tip. Don't stare into the sun. Thanks, man. I like the little here's a tip thing. Come on, guys. I need tips. Let's go. Fucking, I just tinted this. Oh, it's great. Have you ever tinted side mirrors with a higher percentage than 30 to reduce glare from headlights at night? Not than 30. Okay, so I've tinted windshield a couple, 20%, and I really don't like doing that. But I've done, I have 35 on mine, and I think it's perfect. Like, any darker than that, it makes it challenging to see at night if you don't have bright headlights. And then with the, what was I gonna say? 30, yeah, so 30%, I have 35 on my windshield. Any darker, it's kind of like tough to see when it's like rainy, cloudy. You need brighter headlights and stuff like that. But yeah, I like it. It's perfect for like glare reduction. Oh my god, you haven't shaved in a while, Monka S. Well, somebody's from Twitch. I asked my wife if I should shave, and the thing is like, I don't really grow a very full beard either, unfortunately. It's all like scraggly and shit. So yeah, I go like, dude, I haven't gotten a haircut. You see this fucking swoopy shit here that just curls off my glasses like a ski slope. Definitely want to get a haircut soon, but I haven't got a haircut since February. It's crazy. I'll stay safe with 70. 70 is really good. You're not really going to be able to tell that it's tinted, but it's the ceramic is worth doing at that point. Like don't just do regular film, do ceramic. It's great. Makes a huge difference. Does your garage not get hot in the summer? Oh no, it's warm in here. I had long sleeves this morning. But I went to do the stream and I ran back in and changed my shirt because it's a little bit. Oh my god! Fucking cookie for whoever. Did you do the sun strip? Oh my god. You are a fucking champ. Guys, we gotta do a strip. We gotta do a strip. Dude, how do I give that guy a tip? Oh, I guess maybe the stream is. Did you do the sun strip? You know, sometimes you guys are the fucking best. It's one of the easiest things to forget. What was that? The Snow Panther with a $2 super chat, just the tip. That guy gets it. All right, we got a strip to do. Ooh, that didn't sound great. I hate the strips. You know, I don't want to admit this, but I do too. Like, they're just... Chat here to save the streamer, Monka S. Oh, wait, okay. So there's one stream I watch on Twitch a lot, a guy named Devin Nash. He's super helpful. But I still don't know what Monka S actually stands for, or Monka Giga, or Monka this, or Monka that. Is it like literally like they're trying to be like a smart person about it or some shit? Like, I don't fucking know. I know Pog though. God, I fucking sound old. Jesus Christ. Can you young Twitch people explain the culture to this old guy? I charge an extra 80? Fucking get it. Hell yeah. I charged 50. I'd be psyched for a strip off of 80. You know, that's what it is. I'm not charging enough. They're easy to do, but for some reason I hate them. I'm in the same boat. I agree. It's just like, because you have such a groove down with like full cars, and then it's like, shit, I gotta do windshield strip. They don't take long, and they're not hard to do, but they are effort. And it's just, once you're at the end of a car, it's just like, you're used to going to the next one. At least that's what I think it is. That's kind of what I've pegged it for me. But we gotta do a strip on this one. Yeah, that was fucking great. Like, oh my god. There's been a couple times that like chat has saved me. Like, did you do this, or don't forget that? I mean, fucking awesome, man. I can't, like, I honestly, they would have got here and they would have looked at it and they'd be like, oh, I thought you were gonna do the strip. And then it's like, oh fuck. Do you want to, like, can you wait outside, or can you just, like, hang on? It'll only take me a little, like, You know what I mean? It's one of those things that you definitely don't want to forget. Same thing with, like, okay, so when I was doing mobile, occasionally I would forget it. So I'd wrap up, pull the car out, and then I'd go to the next place, and I get a phone call halfway to the next place, and they'd be like, hey, you forgot to do the windshield strip. And that'll fuck up your day so fast. Fucking, how do we give chat a super chat? They're easy to do, but for some reason I hate them. Hell yeah. Alright. Yep. Couldn't tell you why exactly, but they're just extra work. They're extra work and they're not. Ugh. I gotta walk around the back too. So here's the dumb thing, right? I could spend 2 seconds and back up the car, or I could just walk back and forth around the entire car because I parked it too close to the garage door. Which option do you think we're gonna do? I don't want to back up the car. All right, so we're wiping this off. There's usually not much with strips. You just wipe them off. Make sure, like, there's always that sticker up there. Not always, but most of the time. And then in some states, they got those, like, those toll passes that they stick. Fuck those. Okay, so we need a 5% roll. And the good news is that we can... Oh God, this is bad. Cool. What was that? I saw Lexan. Yeah, Lexan's over there. It was from the last video. I have to put it back in the basement. I don't install it. Like, legitimately. It's not sitting there because I'm like, yeah, use this film, and then I fucking use Lexan. No. I used it in my factory comparison video. Like, I still have Max Pro sitting over there too. All those films that I use, I never brought them back downstairs. What? Ask for the Venmo app, something $5 or $10? Yeah, but it's like a hypothetical, like, how can we tip? I don't really mean it. Matt gave me Tint Wiz tri-edges. Don't tell everybody. God. We're even now. Oh, they want to say, oh yeah, and those, it's lower, but the, God, what kind of stickers? The car wash stickers too. But those are usually lower for like the full windshields. I will save those for the customers because those like 100% deserve to be saved. And they're like made to break apart and be a pain in the ass, but you can get them. Most times. What was it? Do you do anything differently because of Corona and working on other people's cars? In the very beginning, I was using hand sanitizer a lot more. I'm just kind of like... no. For the most part, no. Okay, so we're gonna... Oh yeah, somebody asked too if I asked them about the height. I kind of went over the windshield with them, asked them if they had any... Like, I didn't say it like this, but like, I was like, what I'll do is I'll put it on the inside. I like to go to the bottom of the tab, but these are a little bit lower, so I'll probably go a little up from there. It'll curve a little bit with your windshield, but it's not too flat. And this person was pretty much like, yeah, okay, that sounds fine. Like, they're pretty much just nodding their head in agreement to whatever I was saying on it. So it's like, you could tell it wasn't a big deal. If they really were insistent on it being in a particular spot, or if they were asking more questions about it, what I would have done is been like, hey, before you leave, I'm gonna put a strip on the outside, have you sit in the vehicle, and then we can go from there. I have done that, like working at places that I'm really unsure or have people asking more questions. I will go out of my way to make sure it's in the right spot. If they're waiting, like especially if they're waiting on the job, right? Like, yeah, I'll just be up front. It's like, okay, as soon as I get to the windshield strip, I'll bring you back, mock it up on the outside, and then you can tell me if that looks good or not. And we can go from there. That's my favorite. But since they're not here, you generally over time, you're just like, okay, this seems pretty good. And most people are okay with that. I've never had anybody that's really gone like I have had to change a couple, but it was only a couple. And again, customer service, they have to live with it, not you. So like, when you're the installer and you have a lazy sales guy talk to somebody, and then you put on the strip and then it all falls on you to redo it, that's really irritating. But that is not the customer's fault. And then you gotta yell at your sales guys and tell them to be better. And then they say, oh, okay, I will. And then, yeah. Oh, I'm totally glossing over this. Oh, and somebody was asking about my trash cans. Okay, so remind me if I forget. I want to talk about my trash cans because we figured out that situation. Somebody's asking, why am I doing it in 2 pieces? Good question. So on this one in particular, I've got 2 rolls. I have a 36-inch roll and I have a 24-inch roll. So ideally, I would have a 20-inch roll cut into 10-inch strips. I don't have that right now, but that's what I would do ideally. And I'd put 1 strip across the whole thing and that would be fine. But since we have the best option that we have out of a 24 and a 36 right now is the 24. And the nice thing about that is, since we have this big ceramic center, you take a 24-inch roll, you put it here, you chop it in half, flip that other piece, put it there, and then you basically eyeball where the strip is gonna go. And if you'll notice, I shifted this section up just a little bit, so it's little bit like curved in the middle. It's not something that you notice when you're driving on the inside. It looks normal. It's something that you would notice when you're like looking like this. So from all other angles, I did that to try and make it straighter rather than have it curve way down. It's better for driving, and it's just one of those like little things. Not a big deal. You could do lots of strips normally, that's fine. But when I can shift them, some are worse than others. That's what we got on this one, so. But for the trash cans, what? Oop, there we go. What did I do? I don't know what I did. I have a 12-inch roll of 5% just for strips. Yeah, that's not bad. I like, why is that comment repeating? Oh, okay. So anyways. Yeah, there's a... No, what are you doing? Your comment's repeating over and over. So, with the... Sorry, it's bugging my headphones. So with a 10-inch strip, it kind of limits you. It's good enough for most things, but past that 10 inches, I'll tell them, like, basically it's like you're not asking for a strip anymore. You're asking for something a little bit nutso, because 10 inches on a windshield is pretty far down in most cases. So, like, it's a good limiter. So it's like you tell them $50 for a strip, and then they're like, oh yeah, I want it to come down to here. It's like, bro, that's half the windshield. That's not a strip. Oh, but yeah, but no. It's not. It'd be easier for me to just tint your whole windshield, and then you talk them into doing a windshield. So, and then you talk them into doing a windshield and the strip, and that's like the best. But so we're doing one side at a time. Clean it, spray it. At that point, you just... I only said it once. Oh yeah, it was weird. It like repeated like 50 times and it kept going like Like, oh, here we go again. It was such a weird comment for it to repeat too. No worries. That was funny and like weird at the same time. I was like gonna say it, what I was gonna say, that is like cut it off. Oh no, it's doing it again. Oh Jesus Christ. I couldn't tell you 100% what's going on, but I did see there was some weird YouTube message on Restream before I even went live. So it hasn't done it this whole time, and we'll be fine. I can adapt. But it's doing it again. So we got one, ta-da, half strip. Should we do one on the outside and one on the inside? Would that be cool? Does it? Oh my God. Oh yeah, okay. On the YouTube chat, you only sent it once. On my Restream chat, it's like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's bugging out. Don't worry though. That's like proof right there. As far as I can tell. I don't think it was sabotage. Funny how that works. What is the thing on my garage floor? That is, it's called Race Deck, or it's by a company called Race Deck. It is their free flow 360 system, which sounds very cool. And it looks very cool. They're plastic tiles that have air, basically, they're just in a fancy way that allows water to kind of like run through them and also dry out. Super awesome. They're not rubber. These ones are hard plastic, but they do have nicer, bigger ones that are a little bit, I think, have a little bit of squish to them. This, I would say, is their economical free flow system. They have a couple different types. They actually have like 5 to 8 different types of tiles, I think. But it looks fucking bomb. I've been looking at these floors for so long. I almost put it in my apartment garage. But for this place, it was like... it was one of those things in every picture. There's this huge crack. So I've got a bunch of cracks in my... in the concrete floor. In the garage. So it's very uneven, too. And there's water that settles in one spot. But what one guy recommended, he's like, I wonder if a shop vac would just soak that up. So I'm gonna get a small shop vac and maybe just use it, because there's literally just one spot. The rest of it drains through the cracks in the concrete, as funny as that is. But dude, this floor's been fucking awesome. I love it. It's just, the most I do is these little white fuzzy things. I blow those out right now. So first thing in the morning, I do that, and then like I don't sweep. It's fantastic. But yeah, you can see him in the black. Oh, what was that? Jamie with a $5 super chat. Thank you once again on the charger help and answering my trash can question. Oh, the trash can. Oh, fuck, I got distracted again. I know I answered that earlier. You're welcome. So if you heard that response, then cool. I wanted to talk about it again, though, because there's different people in the stream. So the trash cans. I'm stoked. They're coming next week. I priced out all my options on the trash cans. And what I'm a little sad about is the trash cans are step trash cans. So they're not the fancy ass, like, wave your hand over it, open. There was this perfect trash can that was at Costco. They were $40 per trash can. and they had the little sensor, and they're stainless steel, and they're super dope. And we have one in the kitchen, so I went to go buy more of those, but they didn't have them. They're no longer there. So then I went on this epic journey of looking for that trash can, and I couldn't find it anywhere anymore. I don't know, it must have been discontinued or some shit like that. It's kind of annoying. But what I wanted to do is get two. So pull scraps off, throw them in one over here somewhere, pull scraps off, throw them in one there, but they have two compartments, one for rags and one for trash. So I'm very, very excited about that. Guys, I spent too much time looking. So, yeah, there's those things that I end up like, I go down these weird rabbit holes trying to find like the perfect solution. Like, oh yeah, you just need a stainless steel trash can, right? They have a bajillion of them. Well, there's no good ones for under $50, period. So then you start looking at the value props of all the trash cans. I want one with, came across one with two compartments, and I'm like, ooh, I want that. Then I went to go look at ones with sensors, and they're like easily like 100, we got a finger there, easily like $130 per trash can. And it's like, okay, I don't really want to spend $400 in trash cans. So we settled. We found one with steps, which hurt inside a little bit, but they'll be cool. They're real like low profile ones too, so they should work pretty well. And watch, I'll get them and then they won't be the perfect trash can. But this this took entirely way too long for me to sort out. Oh, it's on the outside. I should have known that. Alrighty. Cool, that's it. We're done. Yeah, boy. Look at that. Now we got a strip. Got the whole thing. Final ticket on this one is $2.90, which is pretty fantastic. Not bad for a walk-in. What about snow and salt? What about snow and salt in the winter? Yeah, I'm a little concerned with that, honestly. I think it's gonna build up. I don't know. I'm not super stoked on that, because you're right. I could basically take a one of those floor, not a push broom, but like the floor squeegees, and glide most of it out of here, but it would kind of like shave it flush. I don't think it's going to be a super pleasant time in the winter, so it's got its faults, but it was 100% worth getting for now. Also, I do turn on a heater in here, and let it warm up, so there's a good chance that I might just pull in cars for a little bit longer, let it warm up, and whatever snow, I'll either sweep off outside or just, you know, give a little extra time. They usually don't come in with like 6 inches of snow. It's usually like thin snow or something, so. Damn Daniel back at it again with the... Yeah, right? This was like the perfect walk-in, because I love these cars in particular. They're so straightforward. The doors are simple, back glass has room, and the sun strip is cake. My dad has the trash can that you wave your hand and it opens up. We've got one inside too. Those are great. And so there was the ones, they had these stainless steel ones, good size, at Costco for $40. And it's like, I couldn't find any stainless steel trash cans for under $50 anywhere. So it was one of those things where it's like, we went to Costco, we bought that one, and then I was like, oh, I'll just go pick up a couple more, and then maybe I'll get even like maybe 4 and like, you know, strategically place them around because they're like 40 bucks a can. They don't sell them anymore. So they sell like some combo for like 100, and they have this other dual one with a step for like 80. But I ended up going with a slightly lower profile one too, because I noticed my shelves, they all come down pretty far, so I don't have a lot of space underneath. So it's actually kind of good. I might put them up here. I don't know. I'll play around with some options, but yeah, dude, we're done this car. Let's see, did they send? Wait, I'm checking to see if I got my deposit. I believe I did. My labels got delivered. That was cool. Hey, pal. Do you tint sunroofs? Yeah, I do, but they're not a super common thing. Sunroofs are kind of a pain because like you're tinting up, so all the water's dripping, so you try and cover a bunch of stuff up. But what's worse than that is like the edges. For some reason, you have sometimes really tight tolerances on sunroofs, and you still have to shrink them, and then you still have to like tint overhead. And there's just like, man, I've messed up so many sunroofs for like dumb reasons. Where like you like, it's hard to see when you're cutting it, and then you get to that one spot where you're like slightly short, and then so you have to shift it, and then it just like hello, if I donate you $20, will you go to the hairdresser? Yeah, I actually haven't even seen if they were open, because you gotta understand, we were locked down until mid-June. They kept extending it, so I haven't even checked to see if they're all open yet. But yeah, I plan on going to get one anyway, so if you donate 20, I'll just happen to go just by coincidence too, so I would definitely appreciate that though. How about this? I'll give them a better tip. This guy is an example of Edward Furlong if he got his shit together. Who's Edward Furlong? But thank you for saying I got my shit together. Oh, he's an actor and musician. Oh, shit. Yeah, he looks... Oh, I recognize this dude. What the fuck's he from? I recognize him from like an old show, I think. Oh, wait, what? Oh, the fucking Terminator dude. Oh, okay. Thanks. That was a journey. Have you tried other ways to make a windshield visors like a curl? I saw this really cool way with like it was with a metal ruler, and you take like something to put tension on it, and then you like a slight bow, and you just follow that, and it kind of does really well. But I actually never tried it in person, and I don't have a nice flat surface to cut it on. Something to keep in mind though, but I have not tried anything yet. Usually just tell people like it is what it is. Ooh, look at that picture. Oh, who was that? Fuck. Did this say Jamie? That was a fun notification I disabled for like a little bit. Oh, it was. Right? James. Thank you. Got some glass aid. Cool. Those things pop up on stream now. He's the kid from Terminator 2 or 3. Yep. I see that. I knew I recognized. Yeah, this shit just gets long. Am I late? Yeah, I'm sorry. We're donezo with this car. Oh, I should message them. I should call them. I should get off stream. All right, I think we're good. I think we're at the end. But this was super fun. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Gotta thank some people that were like super helpful and integral to the stream. Integral? What's the word that I'm looking for? This guy. Thank you for the super chat. Mike D, Joseph, Braden, Henrik, John, Carlos, Snow Panther, and Jamie. Thanks everybody for the super chats. Really, really appreciate it. The funds are going directly to trash cans. But they're gonna be cool trash cans. They're stainless steel. Make it look super classy. And special thanks to Noah too for for fucking catching that windshield strip, because holy shit, not having that done when the customer comes to pick it up, that is not a situation that I ever like to be in. So we are good. So thank you all, everybody else, for tuning in. This would not be any fun without you guys. It would just be me grunting while I'm tinting the car or listening to podcasts or whatever. So this is always a lot of fun. So I will found a 13-gallon trash can for 40. Ooh. So, go to the Facebook group. Here. Facebook.com/groups/tinternet. I have a trash can post in there. Leave a link there or something, or just post a link now and I'll click on it. But y'all can go join that group too. A lot of people ask questions there, so this is a good place to talk. And also, I try and answer what I can in that group, but there's also a lot of helpful people from this community. I don't often shout out the Facebook group. It's just kind of something that always develops on its own. But it's a super helpful place. So if you aren't a part of it already, it's a good place to go. Let's hear the call. All right, fuck it. Voice. I forgot their name. But here, I gotta. Shit. I forgot. Wait. Okay, I gotta say, got it. Thank you. 9 a.m. Saturday. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna have a good night. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna call really quick. But I'm not gonna leave their voice on stream, so sorry, that probably... It's gonna be quick anyways. It's ringing. Oh wait, is this the right number? Yeah, it should be. If not, I'll leave them a text. Not picking up. It's ringing. Are we? Nope. Sorry. I'll send them a text. They didn't answer, but that's fine. Tint Studio, your Malibu is all set. Turned out super nice. And then I'm going to send them a picture. So I'm going to do that really quick. Because why wouldn't you send a picture of a cool car that just got done, right? And then we'll crop out the trash bags because we're still waiting on trash cans. How do we crop? There. Nice. Save. And then we hope that we've messaged the right person. I'm on the group already? Cool, post it there. Because I asked the other day about the trash cans. And there was a handful of helpful comments, but it was pretty low efforts. Like, there wasn't very much there, so. Yeah, put it there. Okay, so, and with that, we're at the end. Thank you, everybody, again, for tuning in. Much appreciated. Super chats, help with the strip. and all the interaction and stuff like that. So next one, I'm not sure. I only have like one window scheduled Saturday morning, but chances are I'll get a full car. So I'd imagine there'll be something on Saturday. So notifications on will always help with stuff like that. And that's about it. I will see you guys in the next one. We can use an ending screen. That's okay.